Hello everybody, Rusted Ground here, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I have played this game for about 10 hours and I thought this would be a good moment to make a first impressions video about it. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is the latest installment from Ubisoft Studios, and it is a Metroidvania action-adventure platform game where you control Sargon, a member of the elite fighting group called the Immortals.
Advantage of the situation, they will soon find that the kingdom's bravest warriors will be their undoing.
At the start of the game, Sargon is seen as a hero amongst his people because he is the one who defeats Uvishka, the Kushan general attacking Persia.
For Uvishka, the Kushan general, victory was certain. Until history took a different turn.
As Sargon and his fellow immortals celebrate the victory, the celebration is cut short as Hassan, the Prince of Persia, is kidnapped. The immortals track the kidnappers to Mount Kaf inside an old citadel, and the 7 warriors split up in search of the prince. But from the start, there seems to be something quite off in this location.
We are not welcome here.
Stay on your guard. We will find the Prince and Anahita.
Time flows differently for each person, and there are all sorts of strange creatures lurking about. But that is all I'm going to say about the story of the game because I don't want to spoil anything more. As I said at the beginning, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a Metroidvania game. For those of you that don't know what that is, well, it is a subgenre of action-adventure games, usually platformers, so 2D or 2.5D games, where the focus is on non-guided, non-linear, and utility-gated progression and exploration. In layman terms, you do a lot of exploration in the game, and you reach certain points where you cannot progress anymore unless you have a certain ability unlocked on your character. So your goal is not only to progress through the story, but also to unlock new abilities to be able to progress through the map. And in that regard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown does not disappoint. The map is huge. After 10 hours of gameplay, I discovered 6 different biomes on the map, and I am almost certain there are more than that. The game is filled with secrets, treasures, traversal challenges, lots of enemies to fight, and also quite a few boss encounters. The progression system is quite simple, which is something that I really like about the game. You unlock new abilities for Sargon as you progress through the story, but there is also an upgrade mechanic. Early into the game, you discover an area where you will find a vendor, a blacksmith, and a training facility where you can test out your new abilities before venturing further.
Traveler?
My allies and I are in pursuit of a traitor.
Then you and the others are trapped here too.
Improving your character stats is done via the amulet mechanic, whereby you find these amulets in the wild that improve certain aspects of your character, and you attach these amulets to Sargon's necklace. You do have a limited amount of slots, but as you progress through the game, you discover new ways to increase the number of slots for your amulets and thus make Sargon more powerful. Combat seems quite simple at the beginning, but it ramps up really fast. The game has a dodge mechanic as well as a parry mechanic, and as with other games, if you manage a perfect parry, you get a bonus to your next attack, or you can even counter an enemy with a powerful and unique move, as shown here. In terms of enemy variety, in the 10 hours that I've played, I will say that there is quite a lot of variety, and this is something that I really liked. What I didn't like was the fact that mobs do respawn after you leave an area, so if you go through that area again, you might have to fight them again. And that can become quite frustrating, as you will be going back and forward through the same areas multiple times. The boss encounters that I've had so far have been increasingly challenging and with new unique mechanics. I also really enjoyed the over-the-top animations at the end of each boss encounter. From a story perspective, I have been quite invested in the story, and I think the voice acting in the game is very good. Although you have a main quest to progress through, as you discover new areas of Mount Kaf, you will also encounter NPCs that will give you side quests to complete. I really like this because it gives you the reason to go exploring as much as possible. Overall, my first impressions of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is that it is a very well made 2D platformer with a very cool art direction, very good voice acting, and a cool protagonist. The story does hook you in, or at least it did hook me in, and the mysteries of Mount Kaf keep you wanting to explore as much as possible. I found the progression system to be very satisfying, as it encourages you to improve your gameplay and try out different combinations in order to progress. At the time of this recording, the price of the game is €50 or $50 depending where you are in the world. This price is a little high for my taste for this type of game, but I'm sure you can get it for cheaper if you really look for it. So yeah, those are my first impressions of the game after 10 hours of playtime. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.